Welcome back to my channel. My name is Jillian and it is time for a book haul. First up, I found Rules of Civility by Amor Towles. I had no idea what this book was about. I recognized the author and I knew I wanted to grab it. I read A Gentleman in Moscow. I really enjoyed it. I liked his writing style and just the story in general. This book takes place in 1937. In it, we are following Katie, who is in Greenwich Village and she is at a jazz bar. She happens to sit near this handsome banker. They start up this conversation. This chance encounter leads to this year-long journey toward the upper echelons of New York City. It says that all she has to rely upon are her wit and her own brand of cool nerve. I'm a big fan of witty dialogue, so very much looking forward to that. Next, I have The Mayflower by Nathaniel Philbrick. Once again, I recognize the author, and that was what made me grab this book. I read In the Heart of the Sea, really enjoyed that one. Clearly, it is about the Mayflower and the Pilgrims. These 102 people were aboard the Mayflower. Their journey didn't end at the first Thanksgiving. It is a 55-year saga. It has tragedy and heroism in it. We look at the Puritans and we're looking at the generosity and the sophistication of the Native Americans during this time. It ends in war. This lays the foundation for the America that we know today. I also thought that it would be kind of fun because I do live in New England. Different locations that are going to be mentioned in this book are places that I can go visit. I thought this might be not only a good book to read for knowledge's sake, but it also might lend itself well to a little bit of a booktube journey. Next up is A Separate Peace by John Knowles. I haven't read this book in decades, but I remember really enjoying it. It's set in a New England boarding school. It's following two boys and looking at their relationship and the dark side of adolescence during the beginning of World War II. While these boys are going through their coming of age story, the entire world is really losing its innocence as well from World War II. It's a short book and I remember being really drawn in by the characters. The next book is The Bookwoman of Troublesome Creek by Kim Michelle Richardson. I heard about this on Sue Jackson's channel, who I will have linked below. This is a historical fiction that is based on the Kentuckian Blueskin people and also the Kentucky Packhorse Library of the 1930s. We are following one woman named Cussie, who is the last of her kind, and she is trying to bring the love of books to everyone, and she's experiencing a lot of pushback at every corner, and prejudice as well. It's a story of courage and strength. I'm interested to check it out, especially since Sue had mentioned it. Next is A Town Like Alice, and it says that the former title is Legacy by Neville Shute. We are following a woman who miraculously survived a death march in World War II. At the same time, we are following an Australian soldier who is also a prisoner of war. He offers to help this woman, even at the risk to his own life. Next is Wuthering Heights by Emily Bronte. I have seen a lot about this on Booktube lately. I have never read it. I saw it and I knew I had to grab it, especially since there's all this buzz. People are saying that it's booked as a love story, but it really isn't. It's far darker, and it does say on the back that it is a disturbing exploration. And look at the cover there. It looks very stormy, very dark. One of the things that's kind of pulling me towards this book is the fact that I've heard so many people recently saying not only how much they loved it, but also how surprising it was for them and unexpected, and that's something that I gravitate toward. Next, I found Untamed by Glennon Doyle. This is a memoir, and it is about Glennon Doyle, who one day looks at a woman and falls instantly in love. She decides to cast aside society's expectations for her and live her true life. One sentence on the inside flap really resonated with me. It was about how this is one woman's journey coming to the understanding that a responsible mother is not one who slowly dies for her children, but rather one who fully lives. Next up is a book that I am surprised that I have not read yet at this point. It is The Color Purple by Alice Walker. This follows two sisters in the early 20th century in rural Georgia. They have been separated, but they managed to maintain their connection over space and time by writing letters about their experiences. It promises to not only explore joy, but also pain, humor, and bitterness. I think it is about time that I finally read this one. Finally, we have The Right Stuff by Tom Wolfe. This book is about the Mercury Project, NASA's first manned space missions, and ultimately the origins of the astronaut program. Around this house, we really enjoy this sort of material. I just read The Martian. I love this movie, and I'm excited to continue on with my space exploration reading, especially with a little bit of nonfiction history about the beginnings of it all. So those are the books that I have picked up recently. I would love to hear if you have read any of these, what you think about them. Please let me know down below. Thank you so much for watching. I greatly appreciate it, and I will see you soon.